you appear to have something you want to get off your chest. So why don't you get it off your chest?
Yeah, man. So I'm from Sacramento, California. You know what I mean? I'm from Sacramento. I love Sacramento, and I want what's best for Sacramento all the time. And I just keep, get all the news coming out about, the A's and will they play and all this other stuff. And there's people in in my own city, working against that opportunity and not really telling the whole story, not representing the story the right way, in my opinion. Now, whether or not the A's should be moving from Oakland and all that's a separate situation. But what I do know is there's a possibility. I'm just saying possibility because they hadn't played a game yet. Anything could happen. But there's a possibility of the A's playing in Sacramento for up to 3 years, 3, 4 years, or whatever the case may be. That's a fantastic opportunity. It's not a joke. It's not a clown show. That's a fantastic opportunity for this city. Period. And all anybody ever want to talk about is John Fisher and look what he's doing and he's doing all this. Man, I don't care about any of that. This is a fantastic opportunity for the city. And I would want all these people who come around and talk about, oh, it's bad for the city and you want to get played. How the hell is Sacramento getting played in this? Sacramento would be getting played if and Vivek Ranadive would be getting played if they got into this thinking, yeah, they're going to stay here forever. Nobody, nobody's coming there expecting that to be the case. It's very clear every time it's brought up. They're here for a certain amount of time. They're about to go to Vegas when it's done. Until the Vegas thing is completely off, then that's what I'm going by. They're here for 3, maybe 4 years. Simple as that. We're going to have a good time. We're going to watch some Major League Baseball. We're going to watch the A's for 3, 4 years. And what that leads to is whatever it leads to. Does it lead to expansion? Maybe. Does nothing ever happen again? Quite possibly. But there's a lot of people every time in the media, the only people that I've heard in the media that have shown what I feel is Sacramento the proper respect in this city is myself, you, and Jake Gayton. Everybody else in this city has looked for a way to crap on this situation, crap on Vivek Ranadive, crap on the city of Sacramento for taking this opportunity. And like I said, I guess we'll be the ones to stand up for the city. There's I want to stand up for the city. Now, you're not really standing up for the city. Because if you were, I'm outside talking to people. I'm talking to people in a number of different age ranges who are extremely excited. And they know exactly what's going on. They know that the A's are a temporary situation here. Nobody got the wool over their eyes. But they're excited. Oh, man, every time I talk, man, it's going to be dope, man, having this. I can't wait for summer nights. Night games, A's games. We're going to go out, hang out, watch the A's, see some Major League Baseball. There's a lot of people, regardless of what anybody will tell you, there's a lot of people that are level-headed, that understand what's going on, that are very excited about this opportunity. And don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let nobody tell you different. And don't let nobody tell you different about Vivek Ranadive. I believe he knows what he's doing. He's out here trying to get things done, period. While, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because we got other owners out here that told us what we going on 5 years ago, 4 years ago, had renderings of a stadium that we ain't heard not a damn thing about since. In that time, he done bought another team. But he's standing up here, and you want to talk about protecting the city. You want to talk about making sure the city don't look embarrassed or anything else like that. That guy told us he was about to get something done and then left and spent that money somewhere else. So I don't want to hear all that no more. I'm sick of hearing that. I'll continue to say it as long as I need to say it. This is good for the city of Sacramento, period. Ain't nobody embarrassed that the A's leave, if they get used. Nobody embarrassed because we know exactly what the vibes are. I'm telling you right now. This is how This is how I look at it. This is how I believe you look at it. I think a lot of people in the city look at it. The A's are going to Las Vegas. They're going to be here for 3, maybe 4 years. We're going to enjoy that time, and then they're off doing what they're doing as a franchise. Anything else that comes of that is nothing but a plus. Nothing but a plus. If the A's stay for 15 years, that's a plus. If Sacramento gets expansion, that's a plus. But none of that stuff is expectations. I want people, realistically, I don't want to hear about John Fisher and all this other stuff. I want people to call in, get in the chatty house, do whatever you need to do. At me, at KingKC_916, whatever you need to do. And tell me, what is the downside of Sacramento, West Sacramento, and Vivek Ranadive doing this? I don't see one if it's a level head, which I think everybody's got that's involved. I'm just sick of my own people in this city talking crazy about this opportunity for the city, talking crazy. And I out of respect for people that I love, I got love for, who are A's fans and all this other stuff, I don't really be talking about it too much. But it's our own people who are out here fueling the fire. They talking about they trying to keep Sacramento from looking like an embarrassment. You're fueling the fire for everybody that's trying to cause embarrassment right now. Ain't nobody standing up for the city right now. Nobody's standing up for the city right now. So that's why I say I'll do it. I'll stand up for Sacramento. D-Lo will stand up for Sacramento. Because ain't nobody y'all listen to standing up for the city right now. And I'm sick of hearing that stuff.
So a couple of things. If you want to get in, call the Elk Grove Kia talk line right now, 916-909-1320. I normally fall back when you have something to say about the A's for a couple of reasons. You say it with passion, you say it with eloquence, and you say it exactly the way I would say it. I don't feel the need to repeat a bunch of different things that you said because I feel the exact same way as you. I feel bad for Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew Downs said something that I wanted to point out. Drew Downs says A's fans are just upset, and they're entitled to that. And here's where I disagree a little bit with that sentiment. And this is the part that's, I think, KC is alluding to a little bit, is I'm not sure what A's fans who live in Sacramento are upset about. Residents of Oakland have the right to be upset. Mm-hmm. A's fans in the Bay Area have the right to be upset. But if you're an A's fan who lives in Sacramento, what are you upset for? Because if the idea is holding on to these childhood memories, you're gonna miss me with that. And I know what point Drew Down was making. I just wanted to point that out here in the chat, and then I'll mention Dr. David here. Dr. David says the A's playing in a AAA stadium is a clown show and a great opportunity for Sacramento. Both things can be true. Fair enough, Dr. David, but let's point out a couple of things here. The A's playing in a AAA stadium isn't just about John Fisher. I understand he is a very easy target because he sucks. Mm-hmm. Arguably, or perhaps inarguably, the worst owner in professional sports. But I beg you to not absolve Major League Baseball of this. Oakland, the A's, and Sacramento are in this position because of Rob Manfred, not John Fisher. I'm not absolving John Fisher of anything.
Right.
They're in this position because of Rob Manfred. Rob Manfred is the clown show. Mm-hmm. You think back to what happened with Sacramento. So many people have tried to make this correlation. And this is a terribly flawed analogy when people draw the correlation to Sacramento and losing their team and all of that. But think back to that experience. David Stern was willing to allow it to happen until he wasn't. Mm-hmm. When David Stern saw what he wanted and what he felt like the city needed, he was the one who said, this isn't happening. I'm going to explain it to everybody else in this room why this can't be allowed to happen. He took charge. He didn't get backed down by anybody. I want the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento.
Simple as that.
David Stern allowed that to happen. The situation that Sacramento is going through right now, the situation that the city of Oakland is going through right now, that's because of Rob Manfred. Fisher sucks.
Mm-hmm.
F. John Fisher. Got all of that. You can buy that t-shirt over at DLoandKC.com.
Mm-hmm.
But Rob Manfred is just as accountable for this as anyone else. And I'm with you. Give me baseball for 3 years. Give me baseball for 2 years.
That's it.
Because I'm not going to San Francisco to watch baseball. I'm not going anywhere to watch baseball. I don't care about it enough to travel to see it. Like, one, you know how hard it is to get me to travel anywhere to see something? I'm not doing it for baseball. But if baseball's around the corner, hey, fellas, let's step out tonight. Let's go watch the Giants. Let's go watch the Dodgers. Let's go watch the Mariners. I don't care. Let's go to the park and hang out.
And there's two different things that can be going on right now. Because, like you mentioned, feel bad for Oakland, the city of Oakland. We talked about it a number of different times. Lived in San Leandro, stone's throw away from East Oakland. Used to go to the Coliseum to go watch the A's. Some of my first dates with my now wife were Dollar Dog Wednesdays, getting $3 tickets to go to the games. I have nothing but fond memories of the A's in Oakland. I feel terrible for that. But at the same time, I'm excited for this moment here in Sacramento. This is an opportunity. And here's the other thing that I don't understand. Look, man, I'm just me. I'm just speaking for me in this situation. Maybe D-Lo feels the same way. If Vivek and city leaders had this opportunity and didn't take advantage of it, they might all have to go. Because, like, what would you be doing here in this city if you had an opportunity? Nothing's guaranteed, but an opportunity to bring professional sports here to this city, temporary or maybe for good. And you say, nah, we just don't. See, it's not the right time.
It's, you know what it's making me think of? Because it's all we know, right? The situation played out the way it played out, and that's how we react. That's what we know. It reminds me of the 2031 pick swap. Oh, them nerds had a field day with the 2031 pick swap. The Spurs got the best asset in the whole deal.
That's still crazy.
But imagine news breaks from Sean Cunningham. Well, the Kings had landed DeMar DeRozan, but they didn't want to give up a pick swap in 7 years. What's the reaction if the Sacramento Kings don't trade for DeMar DeRozan because of a draft pick? A swap, not even the loss, a swap of a draft pick in 7 years. Now let's apply that analogy to this conversation.
You cooking.
Imagine Sacramento has a chance to land the Oakland A's for 3 years. A's baseball. The city of Sacramento has the opportunity to land Major League Baseball for 3 years. And they go, oh, it's only 3 years. No, we don't want to do it. And news breaks later that Major League Baseball and the A's ownership were willing to bring the A's to Sacramento for 3 years, but because it was only 3 years, they declined. What's the reaction? Because please don't forget, and this is the part when this all started, and I guess life is just a thing where you have to repeat yourself over and over and over again. Whether Sacramento is here or not, the A's are not in Oakland. They are absolutely not playing baseball in Oakland next year, the year after that. Fisher and the A's were not working together. They were not going to come to a resolution. They were not going to do what USA did for the WWE in their little 3-month in-between time. They weren't going to do that. They were going to play somewhere else. And you find out Sacramento said no because, it was only for 3 or 4 years. What's the reaction?
Craziness.
Exactly. We react to what we know, but we don't think about the other side of this. Well, what if they had said no? You feel good about that? Again, Oakland A's fans in the Bay Area have every right to be upset. And I will sympathize with them for eternity, especially that region losing every single one of their sports franchises in the span of a handful of years. But A's fans in Sacramento, that confuses the hell out of me.
Yeah. And the biggest thing for me is like I said, the people with voices going along with that. They talking about they don't want to make Sacramento look bad or don't want Sacramento looking foolish. And they right along with all them people in the Bay Area, the Casey Pratts, the live dive bars that are sitting up here trying to laugh and talk crazy about Sacramento. They getting their material from the people here. So you worried about Sacramento not looking bad. You giving them all the material. You like, yeah, you right. You right, last dive bar. You right, Casey Pratt. This is embarrassing. We do look like clowns here. What? Nah, man. Nah. That's not gonna be me. That's not gonna be us. That's not gonna be us. And the other reason why it's not gonna be us is because you playing into the sorry narratives that those guys have out there and all around. That we're dumb around here. That Vivek is dumb. That city officials are dumb. Like, oh, I'm gonna try and get the A's here, and they're gonna stay here for 100 years. And you really think he's thinking like that? He's thinking it's a possibility, but he knows this is what could happen. We can only be here for 3 years, and then they move on. That could be the case. Nobody is sitting around acting like that might not be the case. And I've said a number of different times. Just you saw, I had a conversation with Charlie before the show started. My money's still on them going to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, money always talks. And if there's enough money from people who want it to happen, they will go to Las Vegas. That's where I'm going to lie. That's what I believe until I see something different. So I don't think they'll be here past 4 years. But there's a possibility they might. You don't know. They might.
And if they're not,
it's all good.
That's it.
It's all good. Take your analogy a little bit further. What if they would have went to Salt Lake City for this little 3-year thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
And then they go to Salt Lake City for 3 years and Vegas fell through. Looks like they're just going to stay here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And what comes out later in the athletic report that Sacramento didn't do it and would have had the same outcome.
That's right.
But they didn't do it because they didn't want to be played for 3 years. All right, bet. Salt Lake City's having a great time. They'd be having a great time with Major League Baseball. So like I said, the disappointment is really just in the people with voices and platforms who are feeding in to the people that are trying to make us look like clowns. And that's what I don't like.